After over 100 days of development, I finally released my first 2D platformer game. You mostly jump around to avoid enemies like saw blades, fireballs, or acid. Of course, finishing my game took lots of hard work, and I encountered many weird glitches along the way. Also, even though my game was made with a huge budget of $0, I'm still happy with how it turned out. This is over 100 days of game development. Enjoy the video. So, on day 1, I created a new game project. And then, I made a cube. Let's call him Bob. But the game is looking kinda bad. So, by using the power of the internet, I tried to find some art online. Well, maybe my game looks a little better? Maybe? During the next few days, I kept expanding the map and improved the player controls. I also experimented with new mechanics, like collecting coins and a speedrunning timer. Then, I made the game a little darker. When you run out of light, you die. So, don't let that happen, okay? And let's not forget about the awesome main menu. I think it's not that bad, right? At this point, the game was going okay, but I didn't like the map's layout. So I basically destroyed the whole map and started over. This time, I actually made a plan. I probably should have done this a long time ago. Your new objective is to find the 6 relics that are scattered around the map. Once you find all 6, you win. But first, I need to start building the map, because that's kind of important. And there you go. I made the first few levels pretty easy, or else all the noob gamers would give up right away. But is it just me, or is this a bit boring? So to spice things up, I added these bouncy platforms. Nice. I think they're pretty fun, so I added them to a few different levels. Of course, no platformer game is complete without saw blades, because saw blades are just plain awesome. So I created my own saw blades and placed them all around the map. Thinking back on this now, I guess I did overuse the saw blades. Just a little. Anyway, I also made this new acid enemy. And these moving objects. Nice. They make the next few levels a little more challenging. So, try not to die too much, okay? Because, trust me, it's no fun. Anyway, after that, you'll find the burst potion. It basically gives you the power to dash. With your dash, you can now access a whole new section of the map. Awesome. In this section, I created some new objects, like these spike cubes. I also made these rotating objects. And, even better, fireballs. I wasn't sure how to spawn the fireballs at first, because I have no idea what I'm doing. But after a bit of research, and some intense programming, I figured it out. I think the fireballs turned out pretty good. Cool. After that, I got to work on the next few levels, in which you'll find these new green platforms. They teleport back and forth automatically. Isn't that awesome? Make sure to time your jumps carefully if you want to keep up with the green platforms. Of course, adding fireballs just makes everything so much better. Right? I also made these red platforms that teleport whenever you jump. I thought they were fun, so I made a few more levels with them. This adds some complexity to the game because you control when the platforms teleport. This level is one of my favorites. You're being chased by fireballs, but whenever you jump, the floor beneath you disappears. So be careful. Also, as you're going through the green and red sections, make sure to look out for these little keys. You'll need them to access the next section. Here, you'll find these yellow platforms that teleport whenever you dash. Cool. I made a few more levels with the yellow platforms, like this one. I think it's one of my best. I also added fireballs to a few levels, because fireballs are pretty cool. After that, you'll fall down this really long hole. Oh, and you're lucky that you don't take fall damage in my game. Then, Bob can drink the levitation potion, which gives you a double jump. Nice. Defying the laws of gravity is definitely fun. Of course, simply jumping around is a bit boring, so I made a few more levels. These first few levels should help you get the hang of double jumping. I also made this cool fireball corridor. The bouncy platforms make avoiding the fireballs a bit more tricky. Next, you'll have to avoid a few saw blades and fireballs, which is actually a bit harder than it looks. After that, I made this level with a bunch of different platforms. I think it's pretty fun. Finally, you'll have to get through a few layers of fireballs and different platforms. But after all that platforming, I'm sure Bob is very tired, so it's time for a little break. You can find the sticky potion. Basically, it gives you the power to wall jump. Cool, isn't that fun? Of course, I made a few more levels so you could try out wall jumping. But isn't this a bit too easy? So I added a bunch of saw blades. Cool. If you couldn't tell by now, I really like saw blades. Maybe a little too much. But these levels were looking good, so I improved a few of the older ones. If I didn't like a level, I would just destroy it and start over. Hopefully these modifications make the game more fun and accessible. Next, I added some cool effects for the player. Notice how Bob is pink if you can do a double jump, and dashing is better now too. I also made dying a lot more satisfying. Nice. The screen shake is especially cool. Oh, and don't worry, that's not real blood. They're just little particles that happen to be red. Next, I noticed that the main menu was looking kind of empty. So I started banging on my keyboard and wrote a bunch of random stuff. Boom. Now that's much better. Hopefully there aren't too many typos. Cool, but let's get back to making levels. There was only one section left. These last few levels were a little more challenging. You'll find a bit of everything here, like fireballs, saw blades, more saw blades, and many different platforms. In the last level, you'll mostly avoid saw blades and do some wall jumping. Cool. And then, you're done. But wait, wasn't the whole point of the game to find these special relics? Well, yes. So I created the remaining relics for you to collect. And then I started placing them all around the map. I made sure that each one was easy to find, because if I hid them too well, nobody could beat my game, and that's definitely not good. I also gave each relic some lore text to make it seem like the game actually has a story, even though it doesn't really. Then I started placing these coins all over the map. Nice. Now Bob can collect some coins. Cool. Finding all the coins is more like an extra challenge for the hardcore gamers out there. Have fun. Coming back to the relics though, there's really nothing to do once you finally get all of them, which is kind of boring. So I thought of a better idea and quickly made this graveyard. Now, once you have all the relics, you can head over to the graveyard and finish the game. It ends with you returning the relics to their rightful owners. Oh, and good luck collecting all 35 coins. So, at this point, the game was mostly done, but there were still a few more things I wanted to do. I started by adding these little grass decorations. And speaking of grass, I think it's about time I go touch grass in real life. I also added these wooden signs to lead you in the right direction, because getting lost in a video game is pretty boring. Next, I made this game title by using GIMP. It's the first thing you'll see whenever you play the game. Cool. After finishing the game's icon, I had everything I needed to export the game. Boom. Now, I have the game on my computer. And it actually works. Nice. Oh, and I didn't forget about all you Windows gamers out there. I actually made a setup file for the Windows operating system. You basically just follow the instructions, and then it'll install the game on your computer. And boom, now you have the game. Awesome. Alright, after a few months of hard work, it was finally time to publish my game. So I uploaded my game to itch.io. And I also took a bunch of screenshots to decorate my game's page. Cool. I think the page looks pretty good, but more importantly, now you can download my game. After uploading my game, it was finally time to get some sleep. Psych! It was time to get some player feedback so I could improve the game. Apparently, my game could be really annoying. So annoying that you'd rather never play it again. Well, that's not good. There were actually a few problems with my game. First of all, the huge map made it very easy to get lost. To fix that, I added a lot more arrows that tell you where to go. I also created these little torches so you don't miss anything special. And they do look pretty cool, right? After that, I made a few final modifications to the map. Now the game guides you in the right direction, so you're not always lost and confused. Because that's just annoying. Finally, I made the easy mode even easier. Because some levels were still a bit too hard. I guess it's kind of my fault. So on easy mode, you'll find these little blue platforms that can help you out. After double checking all my code, it was finally time to export the game. Again. So, there you go. That's over 100 days of game development. Finishing my game took a lot longer than expected because I kept expanding the map. Here was the original plan. And this is how it turned out. Yeah, it's a lot bigger. And even if my game isn't perfect, I'm still very happy with how it turned out. If you'd like to play my game, then head to the video description. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Bye!